The definition that was given earlier, a decision to treat your parents with respect and with courtesy. It is a decision to provide care and seek their best interests. For children, the application of this honor your father and mother is to obey. There's a verse here. I'm going to just show the verse. It's Colossians 3:20. It says, "Children, be obedient to your parents in all things, for this is well-pleasing to the Lord." Like my dad said, it is God's design. When we follow His design, we please Him. There's another verse I wanted to share, Proverbs 22:15. "Foolishness is bound up in the heart of a child. The rod of discipline will remove it from him." When I was young, some of you have heard my testimony on video games. And I have spent countless hours consumed by an addiction to computer games and video games. If I could travel back in time, like the Flash does in the TV show, and go to the 14-year-old Peter Jr., I would whisper to him, when your dad tells you to read a book instead of play games, when he tells you to learn to guard your time, not to play too much computer games, it's not because he's trying to take happiness away from you like you feel he is, but it's because he's trying to give you wisdom on how to save you many wasted hours over the years of your life. And I would look at that young Peter and think, there is foolishness in his heart. So as children, when we are younger, when our parents tell us things, remember, God uses them to guard our paths because they know more. How about when we get older? What if you're not a child anymore? How does obedience, how does listening to your parents look? It takes faith in a big God to believe that even though your parents may not be right in your eyes, God can still use their advice and wisdom. When you're older, you can talk to your parents. When I tell Tegan, eat your lunch, she doesn't. It's not really, Dad, why should I eat my lunch? This food, is it really healthy for me, Dad? What's the calorie count? It's not like that. It's different, right? As we're older, we can reason more, but the application of the principle of honoring your father, it's still the same. It's to show that courtesy and respect. So an example of how God still uses parents to guard us, to guide us. There's a quote here. This is a quote by my dad. "You will not know the problems and pitfalls you have avoided by obeying your parents. On the other hand, you will not know the blessing you have missed if you disobey." When I graduated, so I'm 21, for example, not now. I was 21 at one point. I love sports. And I still dreamed of playing basketball. I was thinking maybe if I get good enough, maybe I can make the PBA. So I bought these shoes. They're called strength shoes. They look like high heels, but they're upside down. The heel's in front. And you use them to train, like jump around. Supposedly it'll help you dunk if you watch the videos. So I was training every day. And my dad, one day, he noticed I was exercising so much. He said, "Son, maybe you should take it easy. Not overexert yourself every day." I said, "Dad, that's a problem. Because when you tell me to do something, the Bible says I should obey you. So when you tell me not to exercise, it creates a conflict in my soul. I want to exercise, I feel it's good for me, but you're telling me otherwise. I don't know what to do. I would rather you just don't say anything so I don't have to disobey. I can still honor God by not having to disobey you." So you can see the confusion, right? The next day, I used my strength shoes, and that afternoon, my knee popped on the basketball court, and I got an ACL injury, which has plagued me for years. I finally had to get surgery, but I gained weight. I lost all hope of making the PBA. God uses parents. One example I'll just share quickly is my sister, Candy. She was dating a guy. She's already, a lady. And when my dad met the guy, he felt he wasn't the best match for her. It hurt Candy. She felt so sad. But she chose to listen to my father and my mom. And as a result, she met her current husband, who now they've come back, by the way. They were here this morning. They're here for a while. It's such a blessing to see him. He's such a man of God. So, Candy was so blessed. The verse, "It will be well with you in the land the Lord has given you," was so true for her. I'll share a few more things about showing respect and courtesy. For children, we all have different family cultures, right? So you should ask yourself, what are the things that make my parents feel honored? In our family, my dad, he loves Chinese food. My wife, she's American. She likes Chinese food, but not so much. She likes American food. But when we have, let's say, birthday celebration for my dad, the family makes it a point to go to a Chinese restaurant because that is my dad's favorite place, Chinese food. My dad loves to be involved. Do you guys remember a few weeks ago when he shared an example of FOMO, the fear of missing out? When we have family activities, my dad likes to be part of it. So my mom, all of us, we try to organize, let's say if we're going to watch a movie, The Avengers, we won't watch it on Saturday because my dad has to prepare for the Sunday message. We'll watch it on Monday.